Hello and welcome. In this video series, we will learn the price action techniques that is different from what many people are using to trade in the market. Okay? If you go to Google and search for chart patterns, you will get a result like this. If you click on any of the result, you can see the chart patterns that you can use to initiate a trade. Now, you can go ahead and use these to trade successfully. But the problem with this is there are too many patterns to remember. So if you are a beginner and if you are learning to trade, then too many patterns may confuse you and sometimes you may misinterpret the patterns too. So instead of this, join me in this video series and learn a price action technique which is not used much in the market. Whatever I teach in this video series exists in the market. People are using it, but then not so many. Okay? In this video series, we will learn the price action techniques that are based on supply and demand. Okay? Now, let me give you an example of supply and demand and then connect it with the stock market. The year is 2019. Let us say that in the year 2019, a face mask is being sold at rupees 20 and a bottle of hand sanitizer is being sold at rupees 50. Okay? Now, in the year 2019, general public is not buying these two items as they do not find it necessary. Only few people who are in the medical field are using these items. So, a demand of only 10,000 units of face masks and sanitizer exists per month. Okay? Now let us consider this demand is for our country. Okay? Since there is a demand of 10,000 units per month, it is being supplied by 10 companies. There is a demand of 10,000 units. There is a supply of 10,000 units. Okay? Now, you know what happened in the year 2020. Due to the COVID pandemic, the government made it mandatory for the general public to use face masks and also to use hand sanitizers as much as they can. Correct? Now, due to this, let us say that the demand in the country increased to these many units per month. Okay? Now this is just a random value taken by me. The demand increased to this value, but the supply was still these many units. The companies that manufactured face masks and sanitizers did not anticipate the COVID outbreak and did not imagine that the demand will increase to this. Okay? Now, due to this imbalance in supply and demand, what happens is the price of the masks and sanitizers will increase. This is because the buyers will be willing to pay as much as the seller asks. For example, if a seller demands 30 rupees for a face mask, then the buyer will be willing to pay 30 rupees because he needs it. If the seller is demanding 70 rupees per bottle, then the buyer will be willing to pay 70 rupees because he needs the hand sanitizer. And the seller will also demand for more money because he knows that the buyer is ready to buy the mask and the sanitizer at any price. Okay? And due to the demand which has increased tremendously and due to limited supply, the price of the mask and sanitizer would increase. And that is exactly what happened in the year 2020. The price of the masks went up. The price of hand sanitizers also went up. Okay? Now, looking at this demand, what happened was more company started manufacturing sanitizers and masks. There were 10 companies initially, that was just an example. 90 more companies started manufacturing masks and sanitizers, and they were able to supply these many units. The demand was this much, the supply also matched the demand. And so now once again the demand and supply are balanced. Okay. Next, in the year 2021, the severity of the COVID decreased and also the government relaxed the rules of wearing masks and using sanitizers. The government said that it is not mandatory for people to use face masks and they only need to use it when they gather in large numbers. So what happened was there was a decrease in demand. Initially it was high and due to relaxed rules the demand decreased. But the problem was the supply was still high. There were 100 companies manufacturing these many items, or let us say they had already produced these many items. So now there is more supply and less demand, meaning there are less number of people who are willing to buy the items and there are more sellers who are wanting to sell the already produced items. And due to this imbalance in supply and demand, the price of the mask and the sanitizer reduces. This is because people do not want to buy these items and the sellers are ready to sell them at whatever price the buyers are ready to buy at. The sellers just want to sell the items and they are ready to sell it at lower price. And due to this, the price of the masks and the sanitizers reduced. Okay. So this is how supply and demand, or I can say the imbalance between the supply and the demand, moves the price of items. Alright, and this is exactly how the price of the stocks move too. If there is demand, and if the demand is more than supply, the price will move up. And if there is more supply than demand, then the price of the stock will move down. And we will use this concept to initiate trades. Okay? And how do we do it? We will learn it in future lessons. Okay? Now, let us proceed and learn basic things that we need to know before we move ahead. Okay? And the first thing that you need to learn is to recognize candles. Okay? I'm assuming that you know what candlesticks are. If you do not know, then I have created a playlist where I have taught about candlesticks. I have taught how a candle is formed and how we use it to initiate trades. So, assuming that you know what candlesticks are, I will proceed further. Okay? Here, in this price action technique, we have only three types of candles, and out of that, the first one is rally candle. Rally candles are of green color, and the way we recognize a rally candle is if the body is substantially bigger than the wicks. Okay? So here all four candles are of green color. But just if a candle is green color, we cannot consider it as a rally candle. For it to be a rally candle, we have to look at the size of wicks. If you look at this candle, there are no wicks, and so this is a very good rally candle. If we consider this, even though the body is small, the size of the wick is still smaller than the body. So this is considered as a rally candle too. This is once again a green candle which has a big body when compared with the wicks. So these two wicks are substantially smaller than the size of the body. So this is a rally candle too. Here we have a big green body with a wick at the top, and here the wick is substantially smaller than the body of this candle, and so this is considered as a rally candle. Okay, so all these are rally candles. The next type of candles are drop candles, and drop candles are of red color. Okay, here once again we have to look at the size of the body and then compare it with the size of the wicks. The size of the body must be substantially higher than the size of the wicks. So if you look at this candle, there are no wicks. If you look at this candle, it has a small wick. If you look at this candle, it has wicks at both sides, but the size is less. And if you look at this candle, it has a small wick at the bottom. So, all these candles can be considered as drop candles. Okay, so this is second type. The third type is base candles. When the size of the wicks are larger or equal to the size of the body, then those candles are considered as base candles. Okay, so if you see here, the size of the wicks are larger than the size of the body, or maybe in this case equal to that of the size of the candle. Here too we have a body, but then we have longer wicks. Here the body is small and the wick is very long. Here a long wick with a small body, and here once again small body with longer wicks. Okay, so these candles are considered as base candles, and you must remember that the color of the candles does not matter in base candles. So the candles can be of red color or green color. Alright, if the wicks are longer, then they are considered as base candles. Alright, yes. So this is all that you need to know for this lesson. I have many more things to say about the candles, which I will do in the next video. For now, I want you to open the charts of some stocks and try to recognize rally candles, base candles and drop candles. Alright? Yes. So this is it for this video. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and thank you for watching.